See, I'm concerned that if we do have sudden reinforcements show up, what was her name, Mastico or whatever it was? The idea that those humans were part of a noble's private army, you wouldn't know that anyone showing up wouldn't be part of that. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, and we're back with another episode of Sentenced to be a Hero. We come back as we normally do with a board and some notes, so let's go ahead and hit that board real quick. Where we have the board changelog, where I added the shot of our glasses guy, who's been in every instance of our crew being made into heroes. Again, don't know who they are, but they have been a repeated character, so added them. I added a blank space for Kivia's uncle. I added Horde Clevios and updated the ninth goddess with her name and picture. I connected Horde to Pelmary and Kivia, with a green line. I added Zoflik and his companion. I tied them together with a green line, and then I tied Zoflik and Sav with a white line. And then apparently, I didn't have it in my notes here, but I then connected those two together to Kivia because they're part of the same order. And then I added placeholders for Fancy Mastabolt, Jace and Neely, and Rhino. And that is the update so far. Sorry, a possibility always exists that I've added something that I just didn't note. But it seems to be it. So, moving on. So, last episode I indicated that I had started doing some translations. Well, I translated some more stuff. So hopefully, future me remembers to put some imagery down there to accompany some of this at the very least. The shot of Xylo in episode 1 on the dais, the text is upside down, but the same script we read before in the letter, flipping it over, it translates into a mixture of Greek and Latin. Hopefully, again, future me is remembering to put imagery here. The first one is a section of the dais that says Fidum, and I apologize, I don't know how to pronounce Greek or Latin, so anyway, Fidum means faith in Latin. There's a section that says Apuro Diesior. It could be that Apuro Diesior is more typo, like I said before, and it might be Aparo Deterior, which could be used to describe someone as less than pure or fallen from a state of purity. If the circle is meant to accuse someone, that could make sense. And I apologize, this is a fairly long word, and I think it's demonic phenomic, which is both Greek and Latin, meaning demonic phenomenon. A small section that also just says et, which is Latin for and, meaning that this all runs together in a non-specific, non-separate thought. Every shot I could see of the chamber shows the same portion of this message from different angles. I guess meaning that it's repeated around the circle, but I just don't have all the words yet. I mean, if we ever go back, I'll translate more. Honestly, I prefer that to most of the translations that we get, because a lot of the times the translations that we get in other places are like heavy inked or someone with bad handwriting, whereas that was carved into stone. Legitimately, if we ever get another carved into stone text, I will use that as my translate from this thing, unlike the letter that I showed you last time, because that is always so fucking clear. Anyway, moving on to episode 2, the letter to Kivia giving her the new orders, going to skip the from and to, as it's the same as the letter we read last time. 1, the goddess escort mission is suspended. 2, you are headed to the Ziwan-Gan tunnels and remove the threat. And 3, Goddess 13 and the penal hero unit shall be placed under your control of the (1) Order of the Holy Knights to help neutralize said threat. I haven't yet figured out all the numbers. So far, it seems to be 1 line means 1, and then there's a circle on the side of the 1 that will mean 2, and a circle on the other side means 3. and I don't have anything after that. So when they say a larger number than a certain number, I don't know. And then episode 4, the poem book is too heavily inked for my ability to read it, though I'm sure someone out there could probably do it. This is where I really tried to read the seal on the cover of the box Tiaretta was in from across multiple images I had from episode 3. Sorry, not episode 3. Across 3 episodes. I can't make anything of it. I think I see a she in there, but unfortunately too much of it is a blobby, lightly inked, or too over-inked to make out any symbols. Additionally, some of these symbols must be capitalized variants that I haven't seen before, which is why I said before, I think, in the previous translation thing, is that sometimes capital letters have their own symbols. So conceivably, we could be working with a, 52-letter alphabet, essentially. And episode 5, the sacred seal that my guy carves into the things placed on the barriers says electric, which makes sense because, they go past the barrier and they get electrocuted. Green electricity, mind you, but that's what the seal says, electric. Sav has no last name, got a code name though, Man-Eating Ghoul. He is an assassin of the Gwen Massa, sorry. And the Gwen Massa brainwash their people using pain, drugs, and pleasure to turn children into assassins. Sav was tortured and thrown into a dungeon, apparently. I tried reading the sheet that they showed when asking Sav about Taldi, but it's super hard to read the heavy ink versions of the script. The characters just mesh together as to be blobbish and unreadable, so what seems like it might be transcribable just kind of turns into a mess of nothing. Additionally, as I mentioned before, they sometimes interchangeably use different characters for some letters, it seems. Like lowercase a and uppercase a have completely different characters, but on this paper, even the lowercase sections use the uppercase letters. Either way, all I really think I got was his first name, Adam, so Adam Taldi. I don't know if that's going to come up later or not, but if we hear about an Adam, I'm going to be thinking Adam Taldi. New location name, Milnid Jail. A couple more names for things. They spelled it S-I-T-H, which I'm going to say Sith because that's what I grew up with Star Wars, but that's not how they say it, so I apologize right off the bat that I know I'm saying it wrong. Sir Sith, which was the dog-like fairy scouts, and Haste Badhars, which was the headless fairy horses that had the 2 horns come out their front. Sav's staff is tuned up Verkle Core Daisy. So, I'm just keeping these notes here in case they ever say something about Daisy. I can look this back later and say, oh, that's what that was. Xylo implies that it's against the norm for Galtul to let a commoner become an order captain, but he himself was once an order captain. So he's either shocked about something he himself was, or the implication is that Xylo also comes from a noble family, which may have been hinted at with the letter from Fancy Mastibald. He mentions that lack of nobility is why he hadn't heard of Kivia, but he knows of Horde, that their family owns land in the south, and the wine they make is considered a delicacy. I wonder if Horde's family being from the south, and the Mastibalts being from the south, will have any crossover to Xylo's backstory, and also whatever a Night Gaunt is. I'm still at a loss to explain Venetim's hero tattoo restriction, as it seems like he can quite clearly talk about the threat of demon infiltration. Maybe it's that he can't just come out and say it, maybe? I realize I just did a double maybe, but maybe. He can imply all he wants, or maybe he can say lies he's already said before, but just can't say that it's true. There's definitely something there. I just can't figure it out yet. I guess no one that's seen the humans among the demons has ever survived. Otherwise, I don't know how Venetim's article could have possibly be the first notice of this. Because those guys just, rode up and fired arrows. And if they're like that laissez-faire about it, it seems like somebody else would have said something. My last note here is that Jace and Neely are clearly the person with the dragon in the opening, which is, I guess, something I forgot to do. I was going to take a screenshot of that and put that on the board as a placeholder. And Rhino is a volunteer hero, which is not something we've been introduced before. So, I guess when we meet them, we'll figure out what the hell that's about. But yeah, that is the end of my notes. We've done the board already, so nothing left to do but to see how this all goes down.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
I don't think we saw their faces before. I think last time we just saw the hoods from the back. Right, and then that one guy just got impaled. Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't know that we were going to go right to the opening after that little reminder. Now, the element that we didn't see their faces before is just implication that they're not like the people from the mines, right? Those were humans that were demonically infested. And, they were all fucked up, like monstrous humans. These guys just look like people. Granted, we don't know what the hell's going on underneath the robes, but the element that if Venatum's story is correct, and it has been essentially proven to be, that the demons are just infiltrating human society to, bring us down from within. Because, again, these guys can't be, I can't remember what they called them. They're basically a group of, we can live together with the demons or whatever. The cultists, I imagine. There's no reason to think that cultists could just, wander in amongst a group of demons and not have the demons attack them, right? Kind of reminds me of World War Z. The people who just went crazy and thought they were zombies. And they would wander around in the zombies, and the zombies would just kill them, because the zombies don't care what you think. You're alive, the zombies aren't. The zombies eat the living. That sort of thing. What's more than they've sided with the Demon Blight, it's that the Demon Blight accepts them. Again, remember the mine one took a human form and talked. Structurally impossible? Well, it's good to know the restriction. Oh. Maybe you should have fucking killed them while they're there. Was it Tatsuya was down there? Yeah, he's right there. I wonder if this thing's got a charge. Is he gonna run out? My fucking guy. Oh, don't say that. Were these always here? Or did he make those? Okay, they were always here. See, I'm concerned that if we do have sudden reinforcements show up, what was her name, Mastico or whatever it was? The idea that those humans were part of a noble's private army, you wouldn't know that anyone showing up wouldn't be part of that.
Zairo, 本当にこのまま戦いを挑むのですか?
どういう意味だ?
あなたは自分の命をかけてばかりいます。私にはそうするなというくせに。
I mean, I don't think this is the time for getting into what happened in the past.
そうでなくてもあなたは戦うでしょう。
何が言いたい?
要塞に残った聖騎士団や甲府たち、ひいては今ここにいない名も知らぬ人々のために、誰かのために戦う。結局のところ、あなたも女神と同じなのです。それなのに女神のあり方を認めようとしないのは同族嫌悪というものです。
I wonder if you could tattoo a goddess with the hero thing to bring them back to life if they did die. I mean, I don't think they're human. I think the goddesses are created. As per my whole theory about the Blight and the goddesses in the first Subjugation War and everything like that.
その通りだ。
ザイロ、この戦い必ず勝ちましょう。
ああ、行くぞ。
I mean, it's development. We're making forward progress on this character relationship stuff.
ここが我々の墓標か。
Just fired straight down the hall.
おい。
Wow. Okay, was he just bouncing around the hall? Because I thought literally his shout caused their heads to explode. I was saying, just fire down the hall. There's no maneuverability for him. Unfortunately, I was going to say maybe leave one alive to question. Because now you got no information unless they, like, held a letter on their body. I mean, I can't tell if he's, like, not suffering, like, all the time. I mean, ultimately, our problem still is going to be that the demonic slug thing clearly has some sort of regenerative power. by the end of the series, I'm just gonna have like a whole bestiary of names for these things. I feel like I'm gonna have to go back to episode 1 to see if they said anyone. There's another one. Story 2 in.
私が剣の雨を降らせます。
ダメだ。イブリスに力を残しておけ。
そうは言っても。
くそ、ダメ。
Again, reinforcements show up, and I wouldn't know if you could trust them for the humans that already betrayed everybody.
手をリッタ、行くぞ。
サイロ、あれは。
Well, there he is. That's the from the letter that he didn't want to take.
エレティブ、なんであいつらが救援は断れと言ったはずだ。
If you paid attention to the board, I took the wax seal from that letter and made it the stand-in for that person. Their wax seal is the same thing on their banners, so...
おった何してやがる。なんでだよ。俺は傭兵を雇えと言ったんだぞ。
どうせ盗んだ金で雇うんでしょ。それなら傭兵団からお金盗んじゃえば手っ取り早くない。
もういい黙れ。
That is pretty funny. It's pretty funny. I mean, they're stupid as shit for chasing him into the monsters, but...
飛ぶぞ、手をリッタ。今だ、やれるか。
もちろんです。
Well, that's new.
この剣は大きさと強度だけを重視したものです。長くは持ちません。
分かってる。違うんだ。
I mean, okay, I was gonna say if he can make it explode like he has every other sword, that would have been great.
サイロ？
勝ちに行くぞ。
Again, at some point we gotta be serious and have a conversation about this.
Yoshi. そうだ、来やがれ。
Yeah, again, regenerates. Said that. We knew that from the previous attempts that failed to kill it. Poison pit, I assume.
仕掛けておいた罠。再接引だ。手をリッタ。
Oh, okay, I thought they were gonna fill it with Hail Mary's poison.
今度の剣はすぐに朽ちることはありません。
Corrupting the swords. I think he's got it pinned. I don't think it's dead.
すぐキビアたちに女神の毒を持ってこさせる。
Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
要塞を犠牲にする必要なんざどこにもねえ。だいぶおとなしくなったな。このまま。手をリッタ。そこから離れろ。
Was that Xylo that jumped in front, or was it somebody else? Okay.
我が騎士。
Well, I mean, it's an eyeball thing, like the first one that we saw had.
手をいった逃げろ
I guess it's just like fucking regenerating from like its core. Ripped its core out and made more.
モルド早く退避せよこれ以上犠牲者は出せんサーブ避難経路の確保だいやいやこっちもヤバいっすよダメだ逃げろ
I was just wondering what the fuck happened to the death row inmates.
みんなこっちには来ないでくださいよそっちで粘ってください
待って誰か助けて傭兵団に殺される
ザイロ傷が。
手をいった行け
でも私は。
今ならフェアリーもこれでお前はもう限界だ見ればわかるお前の言う通りなんだ
Yeah, because if he dies, she's just gonna be here alone
どうぞ
to die.
俺は意味のある戦いに勝利したい自分を大したやつだと思いたい俺もまだまだ捨てたもんじゃねえって信じたいアホみてえにつまらない動機だでもなこれは俺の戦いだ
Sorry, real important scene, but I also couldn't help but notice there was a flash to the floor again. I'm gonna be reading that floor.
たとえあなたがどう思おうと、私はあなたと共に戦います。なぜなら、私は偉大な女神テオリッタですから。
ああそうだったな
ザイロ、私に死んでほしくないのなら、あなたが私を守ればよいのです。あなたは偉大な騎士なのです。
分かった力を貸してくれテオリッタお前が命を懸ける場面は俺が決める
ええ、
お前が死ぬ時は俺が指示する
当然です。
Now's the time also
だから
to negotiate for some head pats because you were owed quite a few head pats.
特別な剣を用意します。本当に特別な剣を。
殺せるのか不死身の相手を
ええ、これは聖剣。滅ぼせない相手は存在しません。この世界の外から召喚します。一呼吸の間、必ず持たせます。
It'd be a bitch if she summoned Excalibur.
一撃で命中させろってわけか任せろ
I'm what, 3 shows in now of people summoning Excalibur.
私たちは折れず負けず屈しません。
Again, he can be brought back, she can't. You know, unless we do something about tattooing the goddess, I don't know if that would work.
開いたよ何やってんのさっさと逃げようああ通信がないと思ったらそんなとこにいたんすねこれ最後の一発っすから
Okay, that answers the question then. He can run out of shots.
テオリッタ今だ
Yeah, for once, I don't think this is Excalibur. There we go. I'm assuming this is her ultimate power. Is it a black hole sword? Okay, not a permanent one. Got it. I'm pretty sure we just sucked that thing into a black hole.
ほら私は偉大でしょ。
ああ、偉いよ、お前は。
サイロー、テオリッタも一緒なんでしょ。怪我してるなら早く戻らなきゃ。
Yeah, okay, I thought two things. Either he was going to die, which I assume he would be, and then get brought back wherever,
いや、
or that he was gonna fucking cry because of his memories.
気分はどうだろう、ザイロ君。
誰だ。
安心してくれ。幸いにも君は死んでいない。その一歩手前ってところかな。修理場に行く必要がない程度には体は元通りになる。
That's our guy.
もしかすると記憶障害は起きているかもしれないがね。
誰なんだ。
君らの味方だと。
That's the guy I just added to the board.
とにかく君が無事で安心したよ。
It was present and everything.
我々にとっての切り札だからね。
Is that a gift basket?
ひどいな。こうして密かに訪問するのもかなりの手間をかけたんだよ。贈り物を届けるのも一苦労だった。
I'm now assuming the memory loss is on purpose.
近隣の開拓村から感謝の気持ちらしい。君は空飛ぶ稲妻と呼ばれて人気になっているみたいだよ。
出ていけ。
わかった。君の主張を受け入れよう。でも知っておいてほしい。民間人だけじゃなく、君たち勇者の活躍に注目している者が神殿や軍部にもいること。
うせろ。
He was in the background of episode 1 and the beginning of episode 2, obviously.
ああ、最後に
For when he was being tried in the room.
過度な命令違反には気をつけて。君たちを目障りに考えている勢力は確かに存在する。特に君はとある勢力に注目されている。
だろうな。
彼らは強制派と呼ばれ、
That's what I was trying to remember. The coexisters.
魔王現象との融和を掲げている。
But I was calling them cultists before.
終わりましたよ。もう結構です、女神様。
Oh, they were gonna fucking kill us with this bad memory shit.
我が騎士、何ですかその顔は。偉大な女神である私が直々に見舞いに来たのですよ。
Like I said, this is why I thought there was gonna be tears.
怒りますよ、ザイロ。
There's gonna be head pats. There's gotta be fucking head pats before the end of the episode.
頭を撫でたくなければそれでいいです。でもそれでも私を忘れていたら許しませんからね。
I didn't even think about that. Well, I did. Obviously, I mentioned it a moment ago, but I didn't think about it from her perspective.
忘れてねえよ、テオリッタ。だから泣くな。
泣いてなどいません。
そうか。
私は偉大ですから。
I often forget that the show has no next time on. So I kind of sitting waiting to see what was going to happen next. So, sorry, when they said, I wouldn't be able to handle if you forgot me. When I was thinking before, and my problem is I often don't want to interrupt a scene in progress, even though it seems like I do all the goddamn time. Our glasses guy, who again, I just recently added to the board, who I now have to give a connection to, clearly. I was thinking, is it possible that the memory loss from dying is not because of the effect of being made a hero and the seal and everything, right? Is it possible, connecting this back to my note before, that they aren't good at hiding their connection to the Demon Blight, right? That those people just do show up all the time, and they do get noticed. But the only people that would remember it are the heroes, because they get brought back, and they're like, wait a second, there were humans there. And these people have the power to manipulate their memories as they're coming back. So the memory loss is not from the effect of dying. It's the effect of being manipulated. That's just my theory right now. Combining two different pieces of the show that I've already had in my head together. That I just believe that might be the thing. Because also, it doesn't seem like Xylo has forgotten anything, but who's to know, right? I'm assuming next episode we're going to be dealing with the element of whoever it is that sent them the letter. Sorry, I just don't remember their name off the top of my head. Because their forces did show up. And my concern has to be there was these coexisters, mercenaries, or private army of a noble, just ahead of these other people. That's very, I don't know, coincidental in the timeline. But then again, a bunch of other villages in the area, the mercenaries were also in the area. Maybe it doesn't mean anything. But I do have to think that we introduced them in the note last episode. We showed them this episode. That person has to show up. And if I'm going to believe anything, my guess here has to be that's who Xylo was getting set up to be with before the whole falling out that turned them into a hero, right? That this is going to be someone who is still infatuated with Xylo despite their crime, right? Again, though, I like we're making some headway on the relationship between Teoretta and Xylo. It was a good fight. I think, it's on par with at least episode 1's fight. I don't know where it scales in regards to the other two. Would like to get confirmation that, Kiva survived, that my dude's still around. I guess anyone who's a part of the hero can just either get resurrected or goes to the repair shop. Although the repair shop might also just be the name of the place where you get resurrected at. This could be the repair shop. Also the element that the confessors don't show their faces. The confessors, for all we know, could be heavily blighted. That would be a big old tell, wouldn't it? Well, anyway, I don't think I have much thoughts going on here that I haven't already expressed. Obviously, I'm going to try and translate the seal that we saw in the quick flash here at the end of the episode. Otherwise, anything else is going to come from the rewatch that I'm clearly going to do to take my notes. So, until then, once again, I have been Theta. This has been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you again next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?